Morning guys, how are you doing? So you've only got today and tomorrow to go, and that's the end of your 14 days. Hasn't it gone quick? So I hope you've enjoyed it, and let me know some feedback. That'd be really good if you could let me know how you got on that Facebook page, and maybe I could use some of your comments as well to just to help other people come along and come on board and feel the benefits of doing just something like this 10 to 20 minutes a day, just to really help their back and help the flexibility. I'm not saying that this is the only sort of exercise that you should do. It all depends on where you are in your life and how much time you've got, and if you want to do anything else, if you want to go into something like interval training or yoga, or if you're a runner, or if you're a cyclist, little things like that. We're just sort of really thinking about Pilates as being a support to other programs. Anyway, let's get on with today's program, today's routine, and we're going to start lying down on your back. So yes, today we have the ball. Woohoo! Totally forgot about it yesterday. I was going to use it and then I didn't. Okay, anyway, feet and knees in line with your hip bones, and just allow your pelvis to come into that neutral position. So if you've naturally got this extended curve, more of a hypolordotic curve in your back, just allow your back to settle and slide your rib cage down towards your hips. So looking for this flat area at the navel. You have got a flat area, so don't think you haven't, but you have. Drop your chin towards your chest, and if you find that you're looking back or your shoulders are lifting, get a towel or a block and place it underneath your head. It just helps the chin stay level. It also helps with your connection here, because it stops the neck muscles overreacting and getting tight, and that just inhibits the ab connection. So focus on the head position, and the abs will be easier to focus on the connection. Okay, so just allow your shoulders to slide down your back and float the right leg up into tabletop position, and then place it back down, change sides. So nice and easy to start, just focusing on picking up the leg from your psoas muscle, your main hip flexor, which starts at the top of your lumbar, attaches to each of your lumbar vertebrae, down to the last one of your lumbar vertebrae, which is L5, and then runs through the pelvis and attaches on the top of your leg. Inside, a little knobbly bit of bone right at the top on the inside of the femur, quite close to the pelvic bone. So you can imagine you've got a piece of string on your thigh, and that piece of string is picking up the thigh and placing it back down, deepening the crease as you lift and lower the leg. So we're trying to avoid over-activating the quads, especially the rectus femoris, one of your hip flexors at the front of the thigh. So focus on the foot being heavy, almost like you're picking up a foot that's made of concrete, and that should help the other thigh sink deep into the socket of the pelvis. With practice, you get it. It took me a little while to get this when I was first taught how to lift the leg using the psoas muscle, because my psoas muscle tends to be quite long and weak. Most of them are short and tight and over activated. We do one more on each side. Lovely. And then keep that foot up there, bring the other one up to meet it, bring the legs together and let the legs drop to the right hand side. Keep the opposite shoulder down, come back to centre, swap sides. So if you find in your back you feel pain when you're doing this, keep your feet on the floor. Simple. There's always a modification and a progression for every move. You just need to find it. And usually it's just lowering the lever. So if you want to make it harder, you extend the lever. So in this case, you can make the legs longer. You can either bring them back in or keep them straight throughout the move. That just adds more weight to the move as you shift from side to side. As long as you keep your shoulders down, you're fine. Last one. Coming back to centre, bring the knees together and bring them back down to the floor. Roll over onto one side, use your hands to push you up rather than your neck. Come up into your seated position. So those of you that hate rolling like a ball are going to hate the next move. Haha! Because we're going to do the seal. Okay, so the seal is moving on from rolling like a ball. So if you don't want to do the seal, just carry on with rolling like a ball, or just hold your position in a balance and rest anytime you need to. So with the seal, you take your hands through the gap, you let your feet rest in the palms of your hands, sides of the feet. You lift the chest so the knees are open, so it's a hip opener, ostensibly. So clap your feet together 3 times, 1, 2, 3, so you open up your hips when you do that. So roll back onto your heart line. As soon as you get there, come back up. 3 claps. 1, 2, 3. To the heart line, come straight back up, don't rest there. And again, 3 claps. Open up those hips. Now if you want to make it trickier, if you really want to make it trickier, you add 3 claps on the way back as well. So you hold it here, 3 claps. You come back up, 3 claps. Let's do a couple more. If it's too much, just hold it steady. Hold it steady here. Bring your feet to the floor, so you have to focus on that balance. Roll yourself down onto your front and we're going to the cobra. So, bring your arms close towards you, start to lift the upper body and lift the chest. Lengthen the legs long behind you, really reach with the feet. Now if you can come up even higher, go ahead. But try and keep the pelvic bone on the mat. You're lifting from your thoracic spine, from the navel upwards, opening up the chest, and then slowly come back down. And again, lengthening through the crown of your head as you lift. Drop the shoulders down your back, and slowly come back down. Almost lifting with your heart. So you're peeling your heart off the mat and showing your heart to the wall in front of you. Slowly releasing, and we'll go for one more time, lifting. Now as you hold it here, lifting from the heart line, if you can, turn your head to the right, come back to centre and turn it to the left. Come back to centre, 2 more on each side. Keep lifting with your heart line, coming back to centre and releasing it back down. Hands to the floor. Roll yourself up, come back into child's pose. Oh, stretch out that lovely back. Roll yourself back up. Come back into your seated position because we're going to do the seal one more time. And I'll show you the progression from the seal. So if you want to carry on doing the seal, go ahead. Otherwise the knees and the feet will be in line with your hip bones. Let your calves rest on your hands. Don't move your legs. Roll yourself back. Oh, and come back up. And try and roll back in a straight line. Don't roll over onto the one side of your spine. So rolling back and lifting. Lift that chest. Exhale and inhale. Lovely. Don't move those legs. You okay? Doing well? Get back to the seal if you want to. Now if your hamstrings are pretty flexible, unlike mine, you can straighten your legs and try your open leg rocker. As you come up, lifting the legs, holding onto your ankles, looking towards the navel. Last one. And lifting. Woohoo! Bring the legs together, release, go back over onto your front. Last time, back extension, a cobra, they call it cobra in yoga, or we call it swan dive in Pilates. So whatever you want to call it, this back extension. Lifting up the chest, and then slowly, as you extend and lift the heart forward, come back down. So if you can't come up that far, take the hands a bit wider and just come up part way, which is fine, so your elbows stay on the floor. And as you lengthen through the crown of the head, the chin is gently tucked in, and you lower. So carry on going, keep moving. And a lot of us are so sedentary these days, sitting in the car, sitting at your desk, sitting watching telly. So we're always in flexion. So what we're doing with extension is taking the spine back the other way, strengthening the muscles down your spine, especially down the thoracic spine, from the base of the neck all the way down to where the navel starts. And it's those muscles that, when they're nice and strong and flexible, keeping you upright as you get older and as gravity tends to take over. and everything heads south. We want to keep it facing north. We want to stay upright. I'm going to do 2 more. Very lightly pressing into your hands. Allow your back muscles to do the work. Last one. Hold it up there and turn the head to the left hand side. Come back to centre and turn it to the right. Come back to centre. 2 more on each side. Lovely. Coming back to centre, roll yourself down, come back into child's pose, feet together, knees away from each other. Reach forward with your fingers, slide your shoulders down your back and let the tailbone drop to your ankles. Hands come back towards your knees and slowly roll yourself up. Oh, lovely. One of my favourites next. Side lying bicycle. Okie dokie, let's move my mat away a little bit from the wall. Okay, so your head can either be on your arm or on your hand. Bottom leg, really reach out of your hips. So you get a little gap under your waist, so you're not sinking into your spine. So there's no pressure on that lumbar disc, on the lumbar discs. Top leg, lift it up to about waist height and bend the knee. Okay, so we kick the leg forward like we do in side kick. Point your toe and reach along with that foot, take it behind you. Bend the knee behind you, so the foot comes up towards your glutes as you're about to kick yourself. Bring the knee forward, straighten the leg. Lengthen the leg long behind you. Bend the knee, kick yourself practically. Bring the knee forward, lengthen, sweep it long behind you. And again, like you've got a big bicycle wheel on your side. And you're cycling through. Lovely. So I'm pressing into my hands here, which is a bit naughty. I'm going to use my obliques and my waist ab muscles back to keep my head, my spine nice and steady. So if you want to challenge yourself, your hands can be by the side of your head, which means you need to balance a little bit more. Okay, that's your last one. So if you stop with the leg behind you and then take it back away from you, sweep the leg down and around, bend the knee, bring it up in front of you, take the leg back behind you, straighten the leg. Straight leg, sweep it down and around, bend the knee in front, push it behind, sweep it down and around. Lovely. So the upper body's barely moving. Slide the ribs down towards your hips. It's tricky. That's the plan. Oh, lovely. Can you do 2 more? You rest if you need to, guys. Oh, last one. And straighten that leg and rest it down. So getting those glutes working. So roll over onto your front, onto your elbows, hands to the floor, come up onto your knees, tuck your toes underneath you, and we're going to do one of my favourites, come into pike. Lifting the bum up towards the ceiling, soften the knees and push your tailbone up a little bit more, and then straighten the legs. Push your heels down towards the floor, and then start to shift your weight forward into the plank position, come back up, and release it back down. We're going to do 8. Keep pushing the heels down towards the floor. Rest if you need to. You don't need my permission. Got a couple more to go. How are you doing? Still breathing? Here's your last one. Come down to the floor. Ooh, lovely. It's a good challenge, great for your core and good for your shoulders as well. Okay, so roll over onto your other side. Either rest your head or on your hand. Ready? Bring that foot behind you. Up towards your glutes. Bring it forward with the knee. Lengthen the leg. Sweep it down and around. And then kick yourself again. Come back and around. And as you sweep, imagine you're touching the wall. You're reaching for the wall away from you, behind you. So you really lengthen that leg from your hip. Watch your ribs and your hips stay fairly neutral, so they're not really losing that connection, so you're not arching your back. Whew. How are you doing? So if you feel yourself moving too much here, make sure your pelvic floor is switched on, but we're pulling your abdominals in very slightly, keeping that stability in the pelvis. Allow your glutes to do the work. Last one. Keep the leg behind you and then sweep it back, point that foot. Sweep the leg in front, bend the knee, push it through and sweep it down and around. You feel quite flowing, quite free in the hip. Should do. Don't worry if it doesn't, it will come. Lovely. Using those hamstrings, using the quads, using your glutes, getting that mobility going in your hip. Beautiful. Ready for 2 more? Last one. And then bend the knee. Relax it down. Whew, ready for part 2 for your downward dog, or pike as we call it. Come onto your elbows, bend your knees. Okay, tuck your toes under, up you go. So if you need some more height, just bend your knees and push your glutes up towards the ceiling and then straighten your legs and the heels come down towards the floor. Look towards your knees and then start to shift the weight forward and then take it back up towards the ceiling. So coming forward into plank and then taking it back up. You're halfway. Got 4 more to do. You can do it. Keep smiling or grimacing. 2 more. Go on, guys. Good work. I'm going to do 1 more. You want to join me? Yay! Come back down. Child's pose. Rest. Oh, are you all groaning? We're near the end now. Okay, we're going to start to use the ball. If you haven't got a ball, don't worry, because we're doing push-ups and we're doing shoulder bridge. So you can do these without the ball. But if you have got one, bring the ball to the back of the mat, place it underneath your shins. So the further away the ball is from your centre, the more your centre needs to do the work of supporting you. So if you find that underneath the shins too far, then take it underneath your thighs. Okay, walk your hands forward, come into the push-up position, into plank, and you give me 5 push-ups. Off you go. Push the floor away with your hands. Last one. Hold it steady. And you're going to give me 5 mountain climbers. Bring the knees into the chest and push away. And again, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me 5 push-ups. Off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 mountain climbers. In you go. Knees in. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. You can do it. Nice and easy. Roll it yourself off the ball. Grab it. Bring it around. So if you were doing that without the ball, you could do the mountain climbers by bringing the hands, keeping the hands where they are. So you would do your push-up, and then you would just bring one knee in towards the chest, taking it back if you're doing it on your knees. If you're on your toes, after your push-up, bring the knees in, alternating right and left. Doing 5 on each side. Okay? Now we're going to do the shoulder bridge. So if you've got a chair, you can put the chair at the end of the mat and you can place your feet on the chair. I'm just going to move my mat a little bit. Okie dokie. So just place the heels on the ball, bend the knees, squeeze your glutes, I'm out of breath, and roll yourself up. Right, level hips is what we're looking for. Push the ball away and come back in. Push the ball away and come back in. Do 3 more. So just lift and lower with the glutes if you haven't got the ball. Just do the shoulder bridge. Going for 1 more, because we can. And then roll yourself back down through the spine. Lovely. Now I'm going to try it with 1 leg. I know. So if you find it really tricky with 1 leg, keep both feet on the ball. Okay, here we go. Now that I said I'm going to do it, I've got to do it. Let's straighten the legs out first. So if you're on that chair, press your right foot into the chair, or keep the foot on the ball. And lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Press the heel into the ball or into the chair. Lift the glutes, squeeze the glutes, come back down. And again lift, going for 5. Squeeze your shoulders into the mat. 2 more, drop your chin. Last one. Lovely. Change legs. Hamstrings okay? Screaming at you? Squeeze your glutes a little bit more. Drop your rib cage. Press the heel into the ball. Rather than thinking about lifting, thinking about pressing the heel in instead. 3 more. You okay? One side easier than the other. And release. Keep the feet flat. While the heels lengthened, legs long. Press the heels into the ball and just lift and lower. Going for 5. 2 more. Lovely. Bend the knees. One more time. Press your feet into the ball. Roll yourself up and come back down. So if your feet are on that chair, you're doing exactly the same thing. If you haven't got a chair, haven't got a ball, just rolling up and rolling down like an ordinary shoulder bridge. Last one. Lovely, then we go back for that one leg. So if you're on the ball, place the left leg on the floor, on the ball, sorry, and the right leg up towards the ceiling. Pressing the foot into the ball, straighten the leg, be easier, and lift. 1. This leg can be bent if you want to. 2. 3. Let's do 5. 4. Let's do 1 more. And let's change legs. So if you're doing it on the chair, exactly the same. If you're doing it without any equipment at all, place the foot on the floor and just lift the leg. And lift and lower. So you haven't got the instability of the ball, so it's a little bit easier. Still quite hard on the hamstrings. Last one. Lovely. And then both feet straight out on the chair or on the ball. So again, if you haven't got a chair on the ball or the ball, then just go straight into ordinary shoulder bridges. Press the heels in, suck the shoulders back and lift. 2, 3, 4, last one, lift and hold, keeping it steady, squeezing those glutes, drop your ribs and then slowly come back down. Take the feet away from the ball and then roll yourself up. Lovely. Let's put that over here before it decides it's going to go away from me. Lovely. Okay, coming to the end of your mat, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Roll yourself down to the floor, just onto your heart line. Straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Grab hold of behind the thigh or the calf and just gently bring the leg towards you into a hamstring stretch. Flex the foot and reach towards the ceiling as if you're pushing the ceiling away with the foot. Keep breathing. Bring the knee, bring it in towards you, release the leg, bring the other leg in, straighten the leg, push the heel into the ceiling, hand behind the calf or behind the thigh. Try not to hold it behind the knee joint. Drop the shoulders, drop the pelvis. And then slowly release. Roll over onto your front. Reach around with your right hand, grab hold of your right foot and stretch your quads. Now allow the pelvis will probably tilt if you've got tight hip flexors, so press your pelvis into the floor by squeezing your glutes. Lovely. So the tailbone stays down and the pelvic bone stays on the floor. Think about your hips being in the mat as well. Now gently press your foot into your hand. Stop pressing, but increase the stretch. Bring the heel closer towards you. Squeeze your glutes a bit more. Lovely. And release. Change sides. Squeeze your glutes. Push your hips into the floor. Push that pelvic bone down so your back's not arching. Your pelvis isn't off the floor. Slide your shoulders down. Breathe. Push your foot back into your hand. Stop pressing, but increase the stretch. Bring the heel a bit closer. Lovely. And then release. Hands to the floor. Slowly push yourself up on your hands and knees. Lift the heart towards the ceiling and drop the head into a cat stretch. Push the tailbone back, drop the heart down towards the floor, look in front of you, and then again, heart up between your shoulders, drop the head. Push the tailbone back, looking in front of you, drop the heart to the floor. One more, lifting the heart towards the ceiling, and then gently pushing it away. Come back to neutral, look over your right shoulder to your right heel, and the hips will just drop away to the opposite side. Come back to centre, other side. You're going to stretch down your waist, and again looking over and to the other side. And then come back to centre, and with your tailbone start to draw a little circle. Let the rest of the spine just move, so you're like drawing a spiral all the way up. Everything moves, releasing any tension in the sacroiliac joint and in your lower back. And now come back the other way. Make sure no one's watching you, because it looks a bit weird. Two more. And then release. Come back into your seated position. Either on your knees, or cross-legged, or feet together. Beyond those sit bones, sit on a block or on a towel if you need to. Just be aware of your form all the time, from the toes all the way up towards your head. Whew. Okay, lengthen through the crown of that head as if you're being lifted by a piece of string up towards the ceiling. Allow your shoulders to slide down your back, so open up the collarbone so you're facing straight ahead. No twists going on in the body. Making sure your ribs, the circle of the ribs, is balanced on top of the circle of the pelvis. And just check it out, because what you think it is may not be what is actually happening. Because if you're used to being in a certain position, and I try and put you in the right position, especially in a class, it's always different. So try and just get those hips level and the pelvis sitting on top, sitting below the ribs. Open up the collarbone, drop the shoulders, drop the hands down to your knees, ground the sit bones into the floor. Close your eyes for a moment and just focus on the breath, breathing in slowly through the nose and out slowly through the nose. And again. And releasing. Now with each breath, allow yourself to relax a little bit further and a little bit deeper. Allow yourself to drift. Allow yourself with each breath to release any worries and fears. Just allow your heart to fill with all the bright colours that you can think of that mean to you happiness and joy and love. Releasing any negative colours, pushing them away. As you go towards your day, filled with confidence, happy, with joy, and filled with gratitude. It's not easy, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. And then slowly open your eyes and just be aware of all the space around you. Not just where you are at this moment, but all the space in front of you, behind you, to the sides, above your head, this peripheral vision that you have. And go about your day with a big smile on your face. People wonder what you've been up to. And have a fantastic day. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I think the mindset meditation is about smiling today. So that sort of ties in quite nicely with walking around with a smile on your face. Take care, and I hope you meet some wonderful people today. See you tomorrow.